People steal honey from bees, and honey steals money from affiliate links and creators, okay? If you haven't seen part 1 to this, there's a whole part 1, but I'm gonna give you a little summary about what the honey situation is. Basically, honey was a product that a bunch of YouTubers were promoting. It was a Chrome extension, and guess what it did? It gave you discounts on all your online shopping. Yep, it had coupon codes on top of coupon codes that it could just apply to just save you money. And they were paying YouTubers tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote this product. Why does the Chrome extension that gives you discount codes have a budget of hundreds of thousands of dollars? They sponsored Mr. Beast. How can they afford that if all they do is find discount codes? Doesn't make sense, right? That doesn't make any sense. Where are they making money? Turns out they were stealing the commission links on every single website that you shopped on. So a lot of companies or websites will have this thing called affiliate programs, which is basically if someone refers you to the product, like let's say I have an affiliate link, you click on it because you want to buy like my shirt or my chair or my microphone. I will get a percentage of the sale because I sent you to the website to buy it. Essentially, they pay you for promoting their product, like a small percentage of the sales off the top. Amazon does this with their products. TikTok Shop does this with their products. That's why people are always promoting the most random, stupid products on TikTok Shop. It's because they're getting a commission. YouTubers a lot of times do this with products too. So what Honey did is anytime you used any other affiliate link, it would override it based on the cookies in your web browser and put in their own affiliate link on every website you shopped in. Therefore, they were just taking commissions from affiliate links from every single shopping website available from everyone that installed Honey. So there were just any sale ever made on the internet ever. If you had Honey installed, they made a profit off of it, basically, is how it worked, right? Which is unethical. They didn't even inform you that that's what was happening. In FTC guidelines, if you're using a affiliate link, you have to inform people that that is what's happening. Maybe they had it in their terms of service, so they were allowed to get away with it. Regardless, that's sketchy, right? Part 2 is this YouTuber who exposed and blew the whistle on this entire operation and explained that that's how it worked. Made a video over a year ago now, basically saying, exposing the Honey influencer scam, and it got 18 million views. Now, just 2 weeks ago, they made another video explaining the business model further in depth in an hour-long video that Honey tried to sue them for making. And you know what they say in journalism? If you're getting sued, you're probably on the right track. So let's watch it.
PayPal does not want you seeing this video. A few hours ago, PayPal's lawyer sent me a cease and desist letter and requested Patreon take down my video under a copyright infringement claim. I consider—
Bro, no. You tried to take it down through copyright infringement? Oh, you really have no legal grounds to ask him to take this down. No. Because they didn't say slander. They didn't say defamatory practices. No, because he was saying the truth. They said copyright. What intellectual property does Honey really own aside from their little logo? That is clearly just a fair use. Like, what do you mean copyright?
This a direct attack against my fundamental rights as an independent journalist. PayPal has specifically taken issue with the fact that an anonymous source discovered Honey had left their source code exposed within their iOS app, which, if you know where to look, is publicly accessible. This anonymous source found the code and sent it to me. I reviewed the code for security research purposes, which is a protected act, and I only published relevant sections of the code that provide important context to the story, which I consider within the realm of public interest. Nevertheless, I have removed sections of the video containing said code, not because I believe PayPal are correct, but because I know they will have YouTube take this video down.
Oh, so in the original, or maybe in this video, they don't show the code. Okay, I guess if you're showing source code, that is technically copyrighted, to be fair. But if you made it publicly available, that's also kind of your own fault. Okay, but did he show source code in the original video? I actually don't remember that at all. Am I crazy? Like, when did he do that?
It was only a small segment of the video. Therefore, I have made this decision quickly, under duress, and to proceed with this publication as quickly as possible. If PayPal thought this would stop me, they were sorely mistaken. Enjoy the video.
Yeah, go F yourself, PayPal.
Honey. I don't know what it is. I don't trust it. They push so much advertising. And then people are getting money out of it, and then people are saving money out of it, and that makes sense, but the other part doesn't make sense. And then
that's what I'm saying. Like, how are you making money if all you do is give discount codes?
I have a feeling there's in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy.
PayPal's
and he
Honey
was
Money
right.
saving browser extension is accused of scamming customers and YouTube creators.
The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed.
The greatest scam in the history of the creator economy.
People have been getting influenced and scammed, and I've been a part of it.
It involves
And the thing is like, if I was offered 10K from Honey, would fucking promote that shit. Like, if I'm being honest with you, okay, like, yeah, the code is a little, like, the code isn't publicly available. I don't understand how it's making money, but it doesn't seem sketchy enough that it's like the consequences of promotion are going to be that bad. Honey didn't do anything illegal. It didn't steal money from any of the people that use the service, right? The only people it stole money from were the creators promoting it. So the creators promoting it were the ones that were essentially screwed over. If you were a customer or a user of Honey, the only thing you maybe gave them was some of your data, but like it's a tech app, you know, anything online that's a given. So I would have probably taken it. Also, if you're not code savvy, you're not gonna know how to look into this sort of stuff, right?
almost every high profile.
Also, if every high profile YouTuber is promoting something, you're more inclined to think it's fine. You know what I'm saying? And also, if every high profile YouTuber is promoting something and you're unsure if it's fine, guess what? They can't cancel everyone. I'm just saying, listen, optically, optically, they cannot cancel everyone. They can't. What are they gonna do? Get mad at everybody? Who's anyone gonna watch after that? Exactly. They can't cancel anyone. It's like your safety in numbers kind of deal.
A creator that I can think of, including myself.
Honey paid a lot of influencers up front
while taking
like BetterHelp. Everyone promoted BetterHelp, and some of them like weren't licensed or something.
money out of their back pockets.
Whoa, that's a little shady, mind you.
No way that signs you up for their affiliate link. No way.
What? Brother.
I wait for the one day I'm relevant enough to be included in one of these like reaction compilations of like an initial video where there's like some commentary event. I've been the subject of some Mujin documentaries, but that's because like I'm the drama. So, you know, like I'm always adjacent to it. But
The biggest Honey fan in the world? Ludwig, no!
They've also been lying to consumers.
They are clearly not giving the best coupon codes and discounts to users.
Also, if you didn't watch part one, web storefront owners could pay Honey or have a deal with Honey where they would only give discount codes below a certain number. So they weren't even the best discount codes available. You could literally, if you were a storefront, partner with Honey, and Honey would only give you discount codes that are like below 10% or something.
Loaded Honey, I do recommend removing it from your browser.
I do think that this investigation from MegaLag will lead to a huge class action lawsuit against Honey.
So on behalf of creators everywhere, I have filed a class action lawsuit.
We're suing PayPal and Honey. Gamers Nexus is the lead plaintiff in a class action complaint filed against PayPal and its property, Honey.
Well, it's safe to say PayPal's lawyers love my last video. But don't worry, PayPal, you know what they say. All press is good press, right? Let's see.
I hate when people say that.
Part one of my investigation, Honey has lost over 6 million users, Google has changed their policies for browser extensions, blocking Honey from claiming undeserved commissions, and most significantly, PayPal has been slammed with over 20 class action lawsuits accusing them of wiretapping, computer hacking, unfair competition, consumer fraud, tortious interference, and unjust enrichment.
Wiretapping? What you mean wiretapping? Like, no. Like, what, are you the FBI? What do you literally mean, bro?
Yikes, maybe not them. And unfortunately for PayPal, I suspect more lawsuits will be filed following the release of this video. Why? Well, you see, besides lying to consumers and stealing from influencers, Honey was also causing serious harm to small businesses. So much so that I believe brands have likely suffered millions of dollars in damages. But that's not all. In this video, you're also going to learn how Honey was collecting and sharing your data, and how they, in my opinion, illegally targeted minors through influencers such as Mr. Beast.
Okay, I want to say one thing about this. For anyone watching this, this is advice for you on the internet. Anytime an internet product is free, you are the product. What does that mean? Your data is being taken and they're giving it to ad agencies to build a profile on you so they can sell you stuff through targeted advertising. It happens on YouTube, it happens on Facebook, it happens on Instagram, it happens on TikTok, it happens on Twitch, it happens on everything. Every single online service that is free does this. You can opt out of targeted advertising on pretty much every service as well though, because legally I think they have to allow that, but no one's gonna go through the trouble of doing that on everything they use, right?
Strong accusations, I know, but I have the receipts. I've reviewed internal data, Honey's source code, their pitch deck to investors, disturbing emails between Honey and small businesses. I've reviewed interviews, and much, much more. You're about to get insights into one of the most scummy, predatory business models I have ever seen. You'll also find out why my investigation has triggered multiple class action lawsuits against other corporate giants such as Microsoft, Capital One, Klarna, Rakuten, and Retail Media.
I don't even know what the hell half of those
the
were.
Views, allegations, and conclusions expressed in this series are my opinions based on evidence
Let's
I
have a company
gathered,
name
which
is
will be
gluten.
shared
Like,
throughout.
bro,
Ladies and
that
gentlemen,
sound like gluten with that.
welcome to
That sound like
part
fake
two
gluten.
of the
Like they
Honey Trap.
advertise like gluten for celiac people. Oh, Rakuten. My fault. My fault. Also, I want to say also for the advertising or data, you can opt out of a lot of additional data sources. Like for example, like Discord had a Discord wrap. Mine showed nothing. You want to know why? I opted out of data that wasn't necessary to use the service. So any additional diagnostic stuff, I opted out of. They always pretend like if you opt out of data, you'll lose support from this. Who cares? They weren't going to give you support anyways. Okay. There's millions of users on this website and like maybe 4 people that worked their support ticket. Like they were not, you know, like what support, bro? All the information they need to give you actual support that would need anything for legal ramifications, they already collect on you anyways because they're legally required to. All the extra stuff, they just lie and pretend you need it for support. They don't.
There were many moments throughout this investigation where I thought I'd reached the end of the rabbit hole. I thought I understood everything there was to know about Honey's dirty business model. They were claiming the credit for sales they hadn't earned, poaching the affiliate commissions from content creators, and they were intentionally withholding discounts from users for their own financial gain, rendering the entire value behind their core product a lie. Kinda hard to believe it could get much worse than that, but unfortunately it does. And I realized this after noticing a strange but reoccurring anomaly. You see, in most cases, when Honey popped up at checkout and I clicked apply coupons, a discrete tab would open in the top left corner of my browser. That's Honey injecting a simulated referral code,
That's giga
attempting to
shady.
claim the credit for a sale. But here's where things got weird. Every once in a while, I'd come across a store where, after clicking apply coupons, Honey wouldn't load their affiliate link. So why not? At first, I thought it might be a bug, but quickly ruled that out after noticing the same anomaly on multiple websites. Even stranger, when this would
Maybe it's because those websites don't have affiliate programs set up.
happen, I was generally finding better deals. So what gives? Well, for the longest time, I was under the assumption that Honey would only pop up on websites that had agreed to partner with them, but I couldn't have been more wrong. And I realized this after stumbling across a post on Shopify's community forum, where a store owner complained that Honey was leaking their coupon codes without their permission.
Oh yeah, because sometimes they have like coupon codes for like people that work at the store or whatever, and like sometimes they will get leaked on the internet on like some obscure forum and people will find them, but it's normally harder to find those. Honey what it might have done is it might have looked at the source code of the website, found any open coupon codes, and just given them to the user, which is definitely illegal if they did that for sure. But I didn't assume that every company partnered with Honey. I knew Honey was just like finding these on the internet.
And as I read through the replies, I could see other stores had the same issue. Now, this was a pivotal moment in my investigation because it's—
But also, I will say, if you're a website and you have these discount online storefront, I would not recommend having these discount codes available permanently anyways, because they can always get leaked on the internet or change them every so often. Because otherwise, they 100% can.
Turned my entire understanding of Honey's business model upside down. Until now, I was so focused on the impact Honey had on consumers and influencers that I didn't even think to consider the potential impact to businesses. Though in my defense, Honey consistently referred to the 30,000 stores on its platform as participating stores. So one would assume that every store on Honey's platform joined willingly and with consent. Yet clearly, that wasn't the case.
Nope.
So I reached out to several business owners to learn more.
Honey takes the codes that people use on our website, the discount codes, and makes them public to everybody who's using Honey.
We started having problems where customers would get in touch via our support website saying, oh, hey, I just tried to use this discount, this 60% off coupon, and it doesn't work. And I'd be like, we can look into it. Like, dude, that is not your discount. Like, how?
Yeah, how did you get the code? It's farming it off the website code. The source code is probably public for that. Or because it's a browser application, it might be able to like inject additional information into Chrome using the extensions, because some extensions have permission to read all of the websites.
How did you get that?
And also smaller storefronts and businesses probably aren't coded as well as something like Amazon per se, where the discount codes are locked behind verification systems or they're not publicly available. If you're using like a tiny Shopify website, or like you're using Weebly or Wix or something to host your storefront, it's definitely not as sophisticated of a system. So they probably are publicly available, but they're like unlisted, meaning if you know how to find them, you can find them, but it's generally most people without significant coding knowledge wouldn't be able to access them. And I think Honey would just expedite the process and just service them to people.
And they'd be like, oh, it just showed up through the Honey extension.
I hadn't heard about Honey before, and I was just hanging out on the couch with my girlfriend, and she made some comment about, oh, this app Honey that basically gives you all these coupon codes, and I think she asked if we were on it. I said no, and then she checked out our website and said, oh, you actually are on it, and it's giving this 15 or 20% discount code. And so that's when I found out about it, and I was pretty shocked because I didn't know how long it had been going on for. Yeah, it cost us.
And for a small business, that's bad, bro. You losing hella money, because normally those discount codes are their profit margins, right? And it's for employees or people that work for them. So you will only pay for the cost of, let's say, the manufacturing of the goods, right? Since you're an employee, we won't charge you the profit margin. But if random people are doing it, then they make no money off the items. It's just maintenance costs, which means they won't be able to afford to pay people because it's only the manufacturing costs. So it takes off everything on top of that they need to operate.
And I haven't even looked into how far back it went, but I know we just ended the code right away.
Now, if you think that sounds bad, well, trust me, it gets a whole lot worse. But first, it's important we understand the scale of this issue. As you just heard, these store owners clearly never consented to being on Honey, so they can't possibly be among the so-called 30,000 participating stores, right? So why was Honey lying to consumers about the true number of stores supported by its platform? And just how many stores did Honey add to its platform without consent? Was it hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands? Well, that's where things get interesting. You see, when I started combing through the business side of Honey's website, I noticed that Honey claims to only be partnered with 10,000 brands. That's 20,000 less than what they advertise to consumers.
Also, numbers like this are always, in my opinion, if you obviously look at them with skepticism, they're always inflated. They always are. Or they round up to the highest average, because it makes them look better to have more people participating in whatever they're selling, because it adds some sense of legitimacy.
So I figured, okay, I guess 10,000 stores intentionally partnered with Honey, and the remaining 20,000 never signed up. Now, that would already be incredibly concerning and deeply misleading. But as it turns out, the deception is far worse than that. You see, as I continued digging, I stumbled across this file from Honey's extension called supported domains, which gets loaded onto your computer when you install Honey.
Oh.
And this file contains a list of over 180,000
I'm about to say, I knew it. I guarantee
stores.
It's more.
That's
what I thought.
Massive discrepancy from what's advertised anywhere on Honey's website. Now, of course, we could start making assumptions based on those numbers alone, but we don't have to, because it just so happens that Honey also keeps detailed information for each of the online stores in this list, and it's relatively easy to access that data. For example, on Chrome, if we click Manage Extensions, turn on Developer Mode, click on the Service Worker for Honey, and click on the Network tab, we can now monitor what Honey does behind the scenes a little closer. So if we say visit apple.com, we can see that Honey is now accessing information from their database related to Apple. Looking at this one in particular, we can see that 2.9 million Honey users visited Apple's website in the past 30 days. We can also see that none of those users saved any money from coupons because, well, Honey has no coupon codes for Apple's website. We can even see internal...
Yeah, and the reason Honey has no coupon codes for Apple's website is because the employee ones that they have are locked behind like more advanced systems that you don't have access to. Also, I don't even think Apple would give their employees discounts personally, but maybe they do.
Port and monetization node.
It's ironic that a business exploiting less secure websites had all this stuff public themselves. Yeah, it kind of is. Someone could literally Honey, and he's honeying Honey right now. He's doing exactly what Honey did to other people, but he's using it for journalism.
that were left by Honey's employees. Interesting. Most importantly, however, we can also see that Honey has an affiliate link for Apple's website, confirming that Apple does have an affiliate partnership with Honey. But if we look at the same data for, say, Abercrombie & Fitch, we can see that Honey doesn't have an affiliate link, yet Honey is still offering coupon codes for that store. And sure enough, if we click Apply Coupons on Abercrombie & Fitch, Honey doesn't load an affiliate link through that infamous sneaky tab. Aha! Things are starting to make more sense. So all I had to do now was collect this data for every store in Honey's database. The only problem is, collecting this data for one store is easy, but doing it for 180,000, that would literally take years. Unless, of course, you created a little program that automated the entire process, crawling through that massive list, scraping Honey's data store by store, and neatly organizing the most relevant data points into a nice, easy to read spreadsheet. Well, that's exactly what we have here, but I can't take any credit for the spreadsheet because this was all the work of someone much better at this stuff than I am, and he goes by the name of Yelta. He's a developer from the Netherlands, awesome guy, and I cannot thank him enough because holy shit, there is a treasure trove of data in this spreadsheet. We now have all the details for every store, every coupon code, every developer note, all curated into one lovely spreadsheet.
And you know the thing with Excel is you can always just like do some math, export it, and do quick calculations to figure out what's happening.
It's glorious. PayPal will not like me having this data, but too bad. And Yelta will be releasing this data publicly on Twitter shortly following the release of this video. Link to his Twitter is below, so make sure you give him a follow if you want to catch that drop. Alright, so now that we have this spreadsheet, we can finally confirm that at the time this data was collected, Honey supported 35,000 stores with affiliate links and an additional 146,000 stores without affiliate links. So yes, there was some truth to their claim of supporting 30,000 participating stores. They just conveniently left out the eeny-weeny fact that they dragged an additional 146,000 stores.
So the non-supported stores are just the ones without the affiliate links. So the ones that didn't make Honey money. So if the store didn't have an affiliate link, Honey essentially just robbed them. Or Honey employed you to rob them using employee discount codes that weren't public.
Presumably without consent.
Yeah, Honey was like the middleman robber. That's crazy. But it was like, anyways, I broke into the house. Here's the goods. Here's this. I'm not gonna charge you anything, but I'm gonna take a picture of you with this and save it on my laptop. And then they disappeared. That's pretty much what they did. They did the robbery for you and then took your data.
Consider this. If you're Honey and your platform supports 180,000 stores, surely you'd be screaming that from the rooftops, right? 180,000 sounds a whole lot more impressive than 30,000. Honey knows that, so why hide the real number? Clearly, Honey decided that keeping this little secret to themselves outweighed the benefits of advertising it. Now, as a consumer, you might be thinking, so what if Honey leaks a few coupon codes? Even if a business never gave consent, surely that would just drive more sales for the business.
No.
Right? Well, it's not that simple. Why? Well, you see, coupon codes are more than just discounts for consumers. They're also a vital marketing tool for businesses. Virtually all coupon codes have a strategic purpose behind them. For example, many online stores will offer a 10% discount as an incentive for signing up to their newsletter.
Yeah, because then they email you constantly, hey, here's a new product. Hey, here's a new product. Hey, you want the new product? And then to unsubscribe, you got to do like a CAPTCHA thing. You got to solve a Rubik's Cube. Okay, do the Da Vinci Code. Learn how to read Braille. Okay, translate some hieroglyphics. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll unsubscribe you from the email list. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Just maybe, though. Just maybe. They might still email you next week.
It gets a 10% discount, and the business gets your email address for marketing. It's a simple tit-for-tat exchange. But if Honey snatches up that coupon and makes it available to everyone, well, now the business is losing 10% while gaining nothing in return. The entire purpose behind that coupon code gets destroyed, stripping away any incentive for the business to continue offering it. But it's not just newsletter coupons. Stores will also offer discounts to reward and maintain loyalty, like offering exclusive VIP codes to repeat high-value customers. Many businesses will even offer specialty discounts to military veterans or first responders, just to show their appreciation. But also, some businesses have private discount codes like 50 or 80% off that are strictly intended for use by employees or friends and family. So when Honey comes along, finds all of these codes and hands them out like candy to its millions of users, not only does it cause a negative strategic impact, but it also causes significant financial harm. In fact, this has become such a significant problem for online stores that there are now multiple paid services to help e-commerce stores block extensions like Honey. And
also, the only way to really do a workaround around this is if you have like every user on your store log in and make an account for a discount code, which if you do a mailing list, you could easily do. It's more coding and backend on your work, or more backend work on your end rather than just a list of emails. You have to like sign in, and then each user has like its own generated codes with an algorithm based on how long they've had a membership on the store and how much they purchased. But that's a way harder and more advanced system to set up. And if you're a small business, having someone code that for you is significantly more cost heavy than just collecting the emails without accounts and having an email list.
Retailers are paying to prevent these issues. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does Honey get access to private coupon codes like employee discounts if they're not available to the public? Well, I came across this marketing podcast where they discussed the issue.
What happens is if I have Honey, for example, and I'm one of your best customers at your e-commerce store, and you decide you're going to do a promotion for your VIP customers, maybe it's a flash sale, and you send me a special code. I go to your website, I legitimately have that code from you, I type it into the promo code field at checkout. Because I have Honey in my browser, it is able to scrape that code then and give it to everybody who uses it.
So they're not even publicly available. It literally takes the data you input. So it had a keylogger. It literally had a keylogger on websites. Essentially, it would keylog your that's actually kind of scary. Wait, that's probably why they're going down for wiretapping, because keylogging is mad illegal if you're a company. Keylogging is basically where it keeps track of everything you type on your keyboard and has a record of it. And sometimes they'll only do it for like certain fields on a website. Like that's why if you get a phishing link that like signs you into a website that is like Instagram, for example, and then it redirects you to actual Instagram and you sign in again. That's how phishing links work. They keylog certain inputs on a website. It's normally used for hackers.
We've seen codes like Military Hero 30, clearly intended for a veteran. And then
yeah, that's crazy actually.
Wow.
Even worse, in another case, my CEO found a men's apparel brand where they had a $75 off coupon code, but they didn't set a minimum order value. And so people were able to get unlimited merchandise for free as long as they kept their order value at $75 or under.
Okay, that's insane.
And I feel like the only solution is you need to have someone watch your codes and how often they're used, right? And if they're being used in excess, then you just have to kill them. But that also costs money because you need to pay somebody to do that. And if you're a one-man show, you don't have, time is finite, bro.
But I have to admit, at first, I was a little skeptical of the claim that Honey was snatching codes from users without their consent. Because whenever I entered in a coupon code Honey didn't recognize, the extension would always ask for my permission before taking it. Or so I thought. But as it turns out, the moment you type in a coupon code, Honey immediately sends that code directly to their servers, and then they ask for your consent. How do I know? Well, you see, a developer who would like to remain anonymous noticed that Honey leaked their source code inside of their iOS app. Whoops. So this developer extracted the code and sent it to me. We can actually further verify this with a live example. Watch what Honey does in the background as I enter in this coupon. Honey realizes that it doesn't have this code yet and asks for my consent to share it. But look at this. Before I've clicked anything, Honey has already sent that coupon code to their server, including the details of how much money that coupon saved me, all without my consent. Now, Honey might argue that if you click don't share, they never actually use those coupons.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe they don't. Maybe those codes just sit in their database doing
doesn't matter, it's still illegal.
Nothing. We can't say for certain. However, if you read Honey's privacy policy, it explicitly states that they collect data such as coupons, promo codes, and deals you found. So while they ask for a user's consent, their privacy policy clearly allows them to take that data without it. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because when private codes get leaked, businesses don't just lose money, they're often left in the dark, unable to trace how those codes were exposed in the first place. I've personally found several coupon codes through Honey that were clearly intended for private use. This one coupon I found worked like a $35 gift voucher, meaning I could make unlimited free orders provided my cart value was $35 or
Which
under.
is crazy.
When I alerted the business, they appeared to have no idea how the code had been leaked. Now, believe it or not, this nightmare for online stores only gets worse.
So we usually use discount codes as a way to track when influencers or partners are sending traffic to us so that we can...
that is a good way too. That's also how affiliate links work too, is they can track how many people were referred from that, but Honey overrides that system so their data is void. And the reason that's also harmful is because then they don't know where to send their advertising budget to. They have no clue. They have no clue. And then they might think this creator is like promoting their stuff really well. And in reality, it's just a leaked code. So then they keep giving this creator money to promote their product, and it actually doesn't promote their product at all. And it doesn't translate to any sales, but they don't know that because the data is skewed.
Identify the sale was attributed to that influencer and pay them a commission. So I think we saw one code started to get used like way more, and we were like, wow, we're paying this influencer so much, they're doing so well. And I was like a little bit suspicious.
A lot of times discount codes are the only way for you to understand if a YouTuber that you love and would love to partner with is actually driving incremental value to your business. Those codes would immediately get picked up by Honey, and then they'd be used hundreds of thousands of times. And you'd be like, all right, like not only does that negatively impact our business, it was for that audience, but we have no idea which podcaster we should continue to support.
Now, if you're someone who listens to podcasts...
And then guess what? That also hurts creators too that are promoting Honey, because now these companies don't know who to give money to. So basically, Honey screwed over everybody. It screwed over the people they paid to promote it. It screwed over businesses that they claim partner with it. The only person that didn't lose were the consumers or users of Honey. And the thing that's really shady about this business model is most people do not care about a business ethics as long as they can get a product for cheaper and it doesn't negatively impact them directly. Meaning, the reason they were so comfortable doing this is because they genuinely are like, well, a customer's not going to care. Doesn't affect them negatively. So that's why people are so okay with stealing from companies, or why people are so okay with buying clothes from Shein, or like, these other places that have unethical work practices or unethical factories or whatever the hell. Because at the end of the day, the product for them is cheaper. And they don't have enough money anyways to buy full price things. So they don't really give a flying how or why it's cheaper. They just care that it's cheaper for them, and there's no negative impact aside from that.
You probably know exactly what Chip is talking about here. When brands advertise on podcasts, affiliate links aren't always practical. Listeners could be running, driving, or doing the laundry without easy access to a computer. So instead, brands will provide podcasters with a unique coupon code. And each time the listener uses that coupon code at checkout, the podcaster earns a commission, just like an affiliate link. So these are not your typical coupon codes. Behind them, you have an influencer that's trying to earn a living, you have a business paying to promote their product, and there's usually a contract binding the two together. Regardless, Honey will step in, leak the codes to users, disrupting that business relationship. The result? Not only do brands end up losing money from the leaked discounts, on top of that, they're now forced to pay undeserved commissions to the influencers whose codes got leaked. It's easy to imagine how quickly something like this could spiral out of control. In fact, one business owner on Twitter reported losing $100,000 from this exact issue.
$100,000? I would jump off a bridge.
And he only realized it happening several months
later. This business got to be making hella money though if it took him 4 to 5 months to realize. I'm not gonna lie, like you have to be churning way more money than that if it took you 5 months to realize. Because if you a small business, that you're clocking out immediately.
It's no laughing matter. And if you think this is a huge win for influencers because they get paid a bunch of undeserved commissions, well, think again.
I mean, we basically pulled all out of the podcast realm because there was really no way to figure out how to attribute any successes or failures.
We basically can't do that anymore because as soon as a code becomes used by one person, it's suddenly used by everybody.
This is a nightmare situation for everyone involved, but not all businesses are affected equally. Honey's actions are especially devastating for small businesses that lack the resources of larger brands. The big retailers can push back. They have dedicated marketing teams, advanced analytic tools, and the legal muscle to respond. Smaller businesses, on the other hand, don't have that luxury. So when a multi-billion-dollar company like PayPal piles on more obstacles, it's not just frustrating, it's downright predatory. In fact, Made in Cookware CEO Chip perfectly summed up the devastating impact Honey's actions can have on a small business.
When you're in the early stages of building a business, you're in the stage of, will this company even work? Is there product market fit?
Yep.
How do I scale this thing? Can the economics work, right? And so
And,
all the things.
yo, scaling a business, listen, that is hard. No. I don't think you understand how hard it is to get people to actually buy stuff, bro. It's not easy. Like, it's not easy, bro. Even as an influencer, let's say for me, right? I'm trying to sell merch. My merch sold way better than I thought it was going to. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to y'all. But like, yo, I was promoting that like 3 times a stream, bro. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
these discount codes and the kind of removal of attribution and killing margin, like those really affect.
and that's me with already like hundreds of thousands of followers. Imagine you're an up and coming business with no followers, bro.
The early stages of a company, from everything from where do I put the next dollar in to make sure I can survive, down to you know, you're taking 10, 15, 20% of my sales without me wanting it. And we have digital marketing costs, we have shipping costs, we have all these stacks of costs that not only are getting more inflated over time, like FedEx has been raising their rates over time, warehousing costs have gone up, COGS have gone up, as you know, through inflation for the last 4 or 5 years, right? Like all the cost structures have been going up, and to have someone just stealing and compressing the actual revenue you want, like puts small businesses in a real squeeze. It's just really disappointing, and like it doesn't even work, because at the end of the day, like you need to make the numbers work. And if Honey is going to steal 10% of your revenue all the time, you're going to have to raise prices at the end of the day to make up for that, right? And so it's not only not effective, but it makes it worse for the consumer. It compresses for the small business owner any margin, and it's just like a really awful business model. Like we've been so mad at them for so long.
Really sad. And Chip's point about the impact to consumers is especially important. If Honey's eroding profit margins from retailers and they're forced to increase prices, well, that ultimately affects consumers. Now, as you'd expect, these businesses don't just let these issues slide. Naturally, they reach out to Honey to complain, asking to be removed from the platform. And that...
All right, press 1 to the chat if you think Honey whipped their big old out and told them to go themselves. They said, yeah, we partnered with PayPal. We were billions. Get on your knees, little ant. It's like if God tried to smite an ant, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Unfortunately, is where the story takes a much darker turn. You see, Honey is well aware of the inconvenience it creates for these online stores. So when they inevitably reach out to Honey, asking to be removed, does Honey oblige? Of course not. Instead, Honey goes, how about this? We'll give you full control over which coupons go live on our platform, but only if you partner with us. I kid you not. In fact, Chip was kind enough to share his email exchanges with Honey from 2020. And you need to see it because holy shit, it's bad. Now, it is a long email chain, so I'm not going to read the entire thing, but you're welcome to pause to read the bits I skim over. Hi, I am the CEO of Made in Cookware. Please remove us from your app. You've scraped a private friends and family code from our checkout and put it on the platform for others to use. We've lost a bunch of revenue. 4 days later, Honey responds with, hi Chip, thanks for reaching out. Honey supports over 40,000 stores online, and we always prioritize protecting the Honey experience for users by supporting available stores and displaying available codes. We can absolutely remove the code in question. In order to protect the Honey experience for our users, we typically do not remove codes unless we have a working relationship. I mean, right off the bat, they're basically saying, we won't compromise the experience for our...
So basically, sign with us and make us money, or we're gonna help people rob you.
Users, unless you pay us. Classy. We'd love to discuss how we can work more closely and partner with your brand. Chip replies the same day, we don't offer affiliate deals to coupon sites. We'd like to be removed from your site and extension completely. With the sales pitch not going to plan, Honey brings in their global partnerships manager, Kelly Rodek, who explains to Chip that his leak code was added through Honey's user-generated coupon functionality. No surprises there. She completely ignores his request to be removed from the platform, only offering to remove the leaked employee discount. Chip replies the same day, our friends and family code was listed on your site. That was an internal code meant for a small group of people that was never published anywhere. Our whole site can't be removed from your app. Honey only responds a week later, confirming they removed the employee discount, but again, completely ignores Chip's request to be removed from Honey. Chip responds immediately, pushing for an answer, but they ignore...
I love how he just keeps responding with the same thing. So you gonna remove me? 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 Like, yo, at this point, I'm contacting Loyal, and my next email reply to you is going to be a PDF with my lawsuit information, okay? See you in court, buddy.
His email completely. A month later, and Honey leaks another private discount code. Hi, please remove from your app. That is a private code behind a private employee perk login. This should never be public. I don't understand how you feel taking a private employee perk and making that public to the world is helping our business. Honey responds confirming they removed the code, but instead of taking responsibility, they try shifting the blame onto Chip, suggesting his employees might be responsible for sharing the code with Honey. But given what we know about their system, I'm willing to bet Honey were responsible for the leak,
That's some
not
bullshit.
Chip's employees. Honey then suggests that Chip creates single-use codes for each and every employee, essentially
because we're stealing from you, we are going to now require that you update your website. You change the way your system works because we have exploited it. Instead of just blacklisting you from our URL list, which should literally be deleting like a line or two of code, you know what I'm saying? We're instead going to encourage you to rework your whole system. Yeah, you. Like, you know how easy it is to make a blacklist on something like this? You literally make a website list, and it's like, if this website happens, the app will not function. Unironically, it's easier for them to do that than it is for this person to make single-use generated codes all the time.
It his responsibility to fix a problem they created in the first place. I would be fuming if this were my business. 2 months later, and another private code gets leaked. And once again, Chip asks to be completely removed from the platform. And this time, Honey finally addresses the question. We proudly host a consistent shopping experience for all Honey shoppers who rely on our shopping tools. Therefore, we cannot disable Honey for individual stores, and never have. Never have, huh?
How much you want to bet they removed some big company like Apple or something that threatened to sue the absolute of them? A company with way more money than PayPal definitely was like, hey bitch, we're gonna sue you into oblivion if you don't remove me.
Well, that's interesting, because it just so happens that Andrew from TrueGet Texture Supply also shared his email exchange with Honey. And would you believe it? He was dealing with the exact same Honey employee as Chip. And while Honey attempted the same sales pitch with Andrew, they did eventually remove his store from the platform. So yes, it is possible, and yes, they have done it before. Once again, we've caught Honey in yet another.
I'm actually surprised they even did it for the other guy. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be like Apple was like, yeah, we're gonna sue the absolute out of you, buddy.
And deliberate lie. And make no mistake, it was deliberate because this employee, Kelly, confirmed the removal of Andrew's store just 1 month before assuring Chip that Honey had never removed a store before. Honey clearly has the capability to remove stores, they just choose to enforce that decision.
Did the other guy threaten a lawsuit?
Keep in mind, Honey knows exactly how many of their users are visiting a given store and how much they are spending. So I'd speculate that this selective enforcement comes entirely down to which stores Honey believes will make them the most money. Now, for the record, I didn't even get through that entire email chain between Chip and Honey. It goes on and on. And this behavior is not an isolated incident. It's a pattern.
When merchants discover their codes have leaked and then they want to clamp down on that, they go to these coupon extensions and plea and request to have their codes removed. And 9 times out of 10, the response is join our affiliate program and you'll have more granular control over that. And so I think merchants tend to feel a little bit as though they're being blackmailed.
Yeah,
or
essentially.
extorted, you know, because you join the affiliate program.
That
and
is
then
extortion,
you have to
bro.
pay that coupon extension company every time somebody
Like,
uses
we're gonna
the code.
rob you unless you give us a percentage of your earnings. So either we're gonna rob you or we're gonna rob you legally with your consent. Like, that's all they're doing. They're like, we're gonna rob you or we're gonna rob you in a way legally that looks good on paper so you can't sue us.
And you're doing that in order to have them.
That's like having a gun to your head. Do you consent to me taking your wallet? Do you consent to me taking your wallet? Huh? Do you consent to me taking your wallet? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say no and risk, you know, a 9mm going through my brain and ending my life promptly. Like, okay, stupid.
Not share your codes.
I mean, this has got to be one of the most f***ed up business models I have ever seen. And let's be real about what's going on here. In my opinion, it's economic extortion. Just think about it. Imagine one day deciding to start your own business. You've saved up all this money and invested it all into this one big idea. You're taking on a huge risk. And as you navigate the daily struggles of running a business, a bad actor sneaks into your store without you ever noticing. They quietly start collecting coupons from your customers and start handing them out at your checkout counter. Then one day, you notice a customer with a voucher that was clearly never intended for them, and you have absolutely no idea how they got it. But when you eventually catch the culprit and demand that they leave your store, they refuse, and there's nothing you can do about it. Knowing this, the bad actor leverages the harm they manufactured by strong-arming you into signing a partnership deal, where the only way to stop the damage they created is by paying them. Honey's business model starts to make a lot more sense now, doesn't it? It makes sense why they dragged 146,000 stores onto their...
See? That's what I'm saying. Whenever I think something isn't making money, they're not. They're just stealing. It's always what it is. They're stealing investor money, okay? They're stealing money from the people that work for them, or they're stealing money from some other third-party resource.
Platform and kept quiet about it, because by doing so, they wedged themselves between those stores and their customers, disrupting, interfering, and ultimately taking control over their coupon strategies. And the only way for those stores to regain some of that control is by paying Honey. I mean, why else would any of these stores partner with and pay Honey if they're already on the platform for free? The answer is simple. The stores don't pay for inclusion, they pay for exclusion, for damage control. It makes sense. Now, to be clear, I'm not suggesting that all of Honey's 35,000 partnered stores
a lot of them probably are, though,
joining their platform. I'm sure many signed up willingly.
A lot of them probably did it.
Honey does offer a cashback program, which some stores genuinely like to offer users. And just look at the glowing case studies on Honey's website. Some of the numbers they throw around make partnering with Honey look like an absolute no-brainer.
These numbers are just, they're fake. They're fake. None of them are real. Guarantee it.
Increased average order value, reduced cart abandonment, that's music to the ears of any e-commerce store owner. But of course, if the benefits were truly as good as they say, you'd expect that brands who partner with Honey never look back, right? Well, here's a little statistic Honey doesn't want brands to see, and it's from their own data. This right here is a list of stores that, at some point, tried a partnership with Honey, then decided, yeah, no thanks, and ended the partnership.
Yeah, that's a big-ass list.
15,000 of them. That's
15,000 stores canceled their partnership with Honey. Their numbers are a lie. If a company is ever displaying numbers on their website publicly and they're like, hey, this is how good we're doing. Hey, this is how good we're doing. Hey, this is how good we're doing. A lot of the time, they not doing that good. Unless the reports are publicly filed and for a publicly traded company per se, right? Like that is 100%, they can't lie about that. But stuff like this, they 100% could.
15,000 brands that at some point were partnered with Honey, but no longer are. And this is based on the limited data I have access to. The actual number is potentially a lot higher. I think that says a lot more about the value Honey can bring to businesses than any of their case studies. Given everything we've uncovered about Honey so far, it really makes you wonder, why on earth would a Fortune 500 company like PayPal sink $4 billion into buying this company? Sure, Honey was making some sweet affiliate revenue, but still, that's a lot of money. To put that
maybe they lied to PayPal before they sold it.
Price tag into perspective, the platform you're watching this on, YouTube, was acquired for just $1.6 billion. Combine that with the acquisitions of Instagram and Twitch, and it still equates to less than what PayPal paid for Honey, a coupon browser extension. Well, Honey
but you also have to notice that YouTube was purchased for that amount 10 years ago. So nowadays it would have been acquired for significantly more revenue.
More to the table for PayPal than its ability to churn out mountains of cash. They also had 17 million users worth of data, and as it turns out, lots of it. Remember in the last episode how I said, if a product's free, it's likely you're the product? Well, we're at that part of the story now. You see, while Honey was handing out bottom of the barrel coupon codes, they were also tracking your shopping habits and collecting a ton of data along the way. In fact, Amazon of all companies began warning users that Honey was a security risk, stating, Honey tracks your private shopping behavior, collects data like your order history and items saved, and can read and change any of your data on any website you visit. They even recommended...
I guarantee you PayPal made some ad program like Google or something where they service ads to websites and they're using the data from Honey to do targeted advertising.
Installing the extension. That was somewhat surprising to me, given how much Honey played into the whole "you can trust us with your data" narrative.
Actually free, not like selling all your personal data free.
Does Honey sell user data?
No.
This prompted me to investigate.
Okay, also listen guys. No, any polygraph with this man here, John, I think his name is, I've heard stories that he can just lie and tell you what you want him to say for questions. So take that as you will.
This prompted me to investigate Honey's data collection practices. And what I found was,
if you can't see the screen and you can't see the graph spike, I don't trust it.
Unsurprisingly at this point, pretty darn concerning. Hilariously, the first thing I noticed when auditing Honey's website was that they explicitly assured users that, hey, what we don't do is sell or share your data. But the moment you click the link to their privacy policy, the first thing you see is how we share your data. Excuse me?
Because they know no one's going to read that.
Now, this privacy policy was packed with vague language when it came to what data they were collecting and how they were sharing it. So I dug deeper and came across this incredible investigation by a German nonprofit called Data Request, who advocate for data privacy online. And they dug into Honey's data collection practices by submitting what's known as a GDPR right of access request. For those unfamiliar, under European law, anyone living in Europe can ask a company, no matter where it's located, for a copy of all the personal data that company has collected on them. So
a lot of companies you can do that with too. You can do that with Discord, you can do that with like Snapchat, you can do that with everything.
Their members, Benny and Malta, both Honey users, each submitted a GDPR request. Their data revealed that Honey was systematically tracking their browsing activity across every website it considered to be an online store. They also collected timestamps, unique user IDs, device IDs, operating system info, geolocation details, and the full URL of the page visited. Now, Data Request showed that from these logs alone, Honey could infer some incredibly personal insights about a user. Here are just a few examples from Benny's data that was collected in 2020. Honey could see that on February 13th at 2:57 PM, Benny viewed an iFixit guide on how to swap the DVD lens on a Nintendo Wii. They could see that Benny checked an AliExpress order 13 times, his order ID fully visible, including the fact he opened a dispute for the order. They could see he had a Microsoft Family Plan and that he added a new family member to his Office 365 account. Honey also knew that Benny looked for an Airbnb in Berlin for 2 adults from the 4th to the 5th of March. And apparently Benny had issues with his iPhone because he viewed an Apple support page on how to reset his passcode.
And because of this, what they can do is like they have each like ad or targeted ad has like a category if it's under, whether it's like entertainment or like business news or like gaming equipment, hardware for computer stuff. And every company selects like what blocks it wants to hit. So if you're a computer company, you want to hit like people who are online, view a lot of like computer parts, or maybe gamers and all that stuff. And they get all this data from all of the websites you've accessed. And then they service ads to all of the people that hit those checkpoints. And therefore their ads have a higher conversion rate and the sales, they make more money. Because if you service an ad for like a new GPU to someone who knows nothing about computers and doesn't play video games, they're not going to care. But if you know, hey, I only want to target gamers, or I only want to target people who are like into hardware or this, then the sale or the amount of people that will actually look at that ad and it will translate to sales increases significantly.
On March 23rd at around 5 PM, Benny watched a documentary called Scanning the Pyramids on CuriosityStream, a service he subscribed to just an hour earlier through YouTuber Tom Scott's affiliate link. And apparently Benny's a gamer because he redeemed a game on Steam with the serial code 5HGP6.
That's crazy.
You get the point.
They knew your Steam game serial code, so they could have just dead ass taken the game from you.
All that information could be inferred from just 27 page views, but in total, Honey collected over 2,500 pages of web activity between just February and May of 2020, meaning what I just read to you represents only 1% of the total data Honey collected within a 3-month window. That is insane. Now, while Benny willingly registered an account with Honey, Malta, on the other hand...
See, I thought Honey was like stealing credit card numbers or something, and that's how they were getting money. They were just like scamming, but like this is more advanced than I could have ever thought.
Didn't. Yet Honey collected the same data from him as well, suggesting whether you formally register an account with Honey or simply installed the extension, Honey was harvesting the same data regardless.
And a lot of Chrome extensions do this, by the way, FYI.
Huge shout out to Data Request for their work. I'll link their full investigation below. They also have a great tool where eligible consumers can easily request a copy of their data from companies like Honey and also request to have that data deleted. Definitely check that out and consider supporting their nonprofit. So as you can see, it starts to make a lot more sense why a company like PayPal would fork out so much money for this platform. Honey was sitting on a treasure trove of data that provided detailed insights into its users' shopping habits. Honey could see what users were buying, how they shopped, what they searched for, the decisions they made before checkout, and even the services they considered but didn't purchase. That information is invaluable to a payments platform like PayPal. But don't just take my word for it. Here's Honey's former senior manager of partnerships, Daniel Pilkington, discussing the benefits of Honey's.
Yo, your last name being Pilkington is a sin of on its own. What do you mean Pilkington? Like Pepsi Milkington? Pilkington? Listen, yo, that's a Looney Tune ass last name. What do you mean Pilkington? Pilkington? Yo.
Data for their partnered merchants.
You know, one of the metrics that we assess very frequently for merchants
And he British
is, you know, cross-store shopping. So, you know, how many other stores is a user visiting as well as the store in question? You know, they go into 6 stores, or they go to 7.
I also love how they dead ass are snitching on themselves too on these podcasts. Like, what? Like, are you guys idiots? Like, are you dumb? Like, no. Like, are you actually stupid?
Stores, they go into 10 stores.
Maybe the people that work for Honey are so stupid they don't realize they're self-snitching because they don't really fully understand how the business model works and they just need a job.
Before they make a decision on where to purchase.
And here's another former senior partnerships manager.
So like one of the things we have insight into at Honey, because we're a browser extension and we can see our shoppers and how they shop, is that shoppers love to cross-site comparison shop. You know, we're really kind of following the shopper where they go and we're with them every step of the way. We have all sorts of tools to
see. If I heard this, I would have uninstalled the app. What do you mean? I mean, I never installed it because I thought it was shady. I literally, my mom asked me about it. I was like, don't install Honey. They're doing something shady. I don't know what it is, but it's going to come out and you're going to get robbed or something. So just don't do it. And she was like, okay. Every time my mom's unsure about something like on the internet, she'll ask me and I'm like, yeah, that seems sus.
Make those consumers stickier to those direct-to-consumer brands.
And here's a former PayPal executive discussing how beneficial the data is for their goals.
We've got a full suite of solutions across our consumer platforms that help drive new customers, that help drive loyalty, that help drive conversion, and ultimately sales lift. And we have a lot of analytics and a lot of data, a lot of shopper data, obviously, and that's something that we can unlock on behalf of our partners.
You've got to hand it to Honey. They've truly mastered the art of selling bullshit narratives. To users, they promise privacy, insisting, hey, we never sell or share your data. But to their merchants, they literally bragged about how much of your data they had and how it could be leveraged to provide them with valuable insights into your shopping habits. It's genuinely
They tried to play both sides of the fence and it failed.
Those interviews were all recorded after PayPal's acquisition of Honey. So is this simply a case of a corporate giant turning a once well-intentioned startup into a data harvesting machine?
No.
Nope. In fact, data collection was part of Honey's game plan well before they were acquired by PayPal. This right here is Honey's pitch deck to investors from back in 2015.
Every time a web free app thing pops up and they're trying to make money, they will always take your data. Always. Just expect it, okay? Expect it, and at this point, accept it, because it's not going away.
Slide, Honey clearly labels personalized offers to consumers based on cross-site comparison shopping data as a core component of their business strategy. And on the very next slide, proudly entitled Our Unfair Advantage, it explicitly states, Honey's unique data allows us to predict what each user is about to buy, when they intend to purchase, and how much they are willing to pay. They even itemized the data collected as user behavioral data, stores visited, products viewed, and of course, your purchase history. So not only was data collection top of mind from the very beginning, but they were already actively collecting it and pitching that data to investors as a valuable asset. For years, Honey framed data collection as minimal and purely in service of saving users money. Well, it appears they were full of shit.
Yeah, they weren't saving money. They were stealing your info to make money off of you. Wait, okay, what did they do with this data? Did they sell it to PayPal? Does PayPal have an ad agency, or is there like another ad agency they sold it to? Because I highly doubt Google would be dumb enough to purchase data from PayPal that was acquired in this way, or Facebook, honestly. Facebook is unethical too. Maybe Facebook would. Maybe Meta or Facebook would do this. This is what Facebook got screwed for too. They were literally tracking offsite activity for like everything. And that's why they had those images of Mark Zuckerberg in court are like where he looks like he's like an alien. Like that's where those came from. It's because essentially Facebook was doing the same thing Honey did. So maybe we're gonna see the Honey CEO sit there and be like, but Facebook was doing it way before people even understood how lucrative it was and how big of a thing it was. They were like one of the first, they were the pioneers of doing this shit ethically. So they're the reason why a lot of laws are probably in place now, honestly.
And to be clear, I'm not suggesting that Honey was selling your data to third parties for cash. Well, at least I found no evidence of that. But were they quietly monetizing your data behind the scenes, sharing insights with partnered merchants while conveniently leaving that detail out of their privacy policy? Well, it sure looks that way to me. One thing is for certain, however, and that's that Honey sold your data to PayPal, one of the largest online payment platforms in the world. PayPal didn't spend billions of dollars for a simple coupon extension. They were buying a window into your life as a consumer.
I do feel like PayPal has a lot of shopper data too, because a lot of websites use it and probably that does count as data, but like...
And here's why that should worry you.
PayPal launches an ad network. PayPal has officially said it will be launching an ad network that will sell ads leveraging the data it collects on the purchase history and spending of its 400 million users.
What did I say? There's always an ad agency. I'm telling you, advertising is unreasonably effective, bro. It is. Because even if you don't think, oh, I don't need a new vacuum now, but you saw a Dyson ad, 78 times 3 months ago, or 78 times over the past 6 months, and suddenly you need a new vacuum, you probably gonna think about Dyson if you see one in the store. Oh, that one looks familiar. I think I remember it being good. No, you don't even remember why you think it's good. You think it's good because Dyson's been telling you it's good for the past 6 months before you even needed another vacuum. That's how advertising works. It's not an immediate conversion thing. It's like a gradual buildup of like, oh, I don't need this product, so I'm not paying attention to this ad. But it being in the background is enough for you to, if you ever do need that product, to think about it again.
This change would also
the brand familiarity, like
it's
it's some weird pseudo trust. Like if something sounds familiar enough, you kind of trust it more.
Subsidiaries like Venmo and Honey, and I believe there's more as well, but I'm not surprised Honey's in there.
Nice. This is like terrible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, to make this whole data collection issue 100 times worse, something else caught my eye while reading through Honey's privacy policy. Right at the very bottom, Honey states that, quote, "We created Honey for the exclusive use of adults 18 and older, and we don't knowingly collect or solicit personal information from children." Yeah, you see, now there's just one problem with that.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
That's right.
And you can't tell me that ain't targeted for kids because it said your mom, your dad as the first two options. I'm just saying, listen, love me some Mr. Beast videos.
Right, not only did Honey and PayPal knowingly collect data from minors, but they intentionally targeted them.
But also, Mr. Beast probably didn't even know about all this anyways, if I'm being honest with you, because no one did. No YouTuber knew for a while, so I wouldn't even put this fully on him.
In their advertising. That's not just unethical.
Honestly, it's at this point where every time I see a Mr. Beast ad, I dead assume it's AI. I'm not gonna lie. I really just assume it's AI. Am I the only one? Every time I see a Mr. Beast ad, I assume it's a scam or it's AI. Because if you want to target youth on YouTube or on the internet, Mr. Beast is the guy. And people will always make fake ads with him. So I just assume every time I see one, it's not real. Like legitimately, I assume it's not real.
It's potentially illegal in numerous jurisdictions. Many countries have very strict regulations when it comes to the collection of personal data from minors, and for good reason. Therefore, if you intend on having minors use your product, many jurisdictions require that you obtain parental consent first. But this adds all kinds of technical and legal complexities, which is why many platforms simply limit the use of their service to adults only in their privacy policy, which was Honey's approach. But if Honey were genuinely trying to avoid having kids on their platform, they probably shouldn't have sponsored one of the most popular influencers in the world, whose key demographic of followers is, well, this. But Honey...
Also, they legally can do that because guess what? It's in their privacy policy. I guarantee you there's no way they can be screwed for that. Even if they target something that they know is for kids, they can, if they legally say we only allow it for this age and up, then yeah, I think they're void a lot of the times. Now, and since it's not like an account service, there's no way they can ban users that are under 18, which maybe they can't get screwed actually. Because at least on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, if they find out you're under a certain age, they will ban your account. Like it will be banned. So they don't have the legal repercussions.
Did sponsor Mr. Beast, and those videos garnered a whopping 3 billion views, making him Honey's #1 sponsor. In fact, according to my data, Mr. Beast sponsorships represent over 1/3 of Honey's total sponsored views on YouTube. But it wasn't just Mr. Beast. Honey sponsored many channels whose content was, in my opinion, clearly targeted at minors. They sponsored Minecraft channels, Roblox channels, cartoon channels. I mean, just watch this video and tell me it's not targeted at children.
This literally looks like those like AI slot videos you see nowadays. Like not
this
AI.
Video sponsored by Honey.
If Honey wanted to target minors so badly, they should have just sponsored one. Oh, wait a minute, that's exactly what they did. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Desiree Machado, who at the time was just 14 years old.
Guys, I'm only 14.
Hilariously, one of
I know. No, that's crazy. No. Listen, I'm all for sponsoring kids and letting them get that bag. Okay, when I was a kid, I was sponsored by some editing companies and softwares. But, yo, no. That's dead ass crazy though. That like, no. What you mean? That's like a gambling website sponsoring a 13-year-old. Like, what do you literally mean, bro?
Her videos that Honey sponsored is appropriately titled Back to School. Honey even ran her sponsored segment as a paid advert on YouTube. Now, speaking of paid adverts, let's quickly circle back to that Mr. Beast ad, because of all the evidence, this has got to be the single worst example of Honey intentionally targeting minors. Let me play it again.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
They are literally encouraging kids to install a browser extension that tracks and collects data onto every computer in their household, including those belonging.
Like some hacker with a budget. You want to know what governments are going to start doing, bro? You want to know what governments are going to start doing? They're going to start sponsoring, okay, YouTubers. Like North Korea going to sponsor some YouTubers for some random BS extension or something that's going to mine all this data, and then they're just going to hack like every computer in the US or something. I guarantee it. I'm surprised the government hasn't done that yet. And maybe I shouldn't say this because someone's going to hear this and, you know, send it to their higher up and it's going to become a thing. But I'm really surprised there has not been like a psyop or something for some government agency where they essentially have paid a company to, or paid YouTubers to promote a product that's not a real product so they can harvest data to like hack people. Like, just like that. They could have done that. It could have been even more nefarious, bro. Because no hacking group has money to sponsor YouTubers, right? But governments sure do.
To their siblings. That is fucking insane. And the emojis? I mean, come on. And look, this is not a good look for Mr. Beast either. Influencers have a duty of care to ensure that any advertising they engage in is compliant with relevant advertising laws, especially when your audience skews young. Of course, I did reach out to Mr. Beast and his team for comment, but never heard back from them. Now, in case you're still not convinced that this was intentional, because, I don't know, perhaps Honey had a rogue marketing team that was poorly aligned with upper management, well, here's a few words from Honey's former president, Joanne Bradford, talking about the benefits of working with Mr. Beast.
We launched it with gamers playing YouTube on their desktop. And
Yo, hearing corporate boomers talk about the internet is so funny to me because they use the most long terms, the most like dictionary accurate, full word, grammatically packed SAT structured sentences to explain a topic that could easily be boiled down to 2 words. No, they have to boil it down to sound like it's like some groundbreaking thing. We started doing this new marketing thing, and it's something that's been happening for like 15 years for anyone like, you know, the age between the ages of like 20 and 25. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Little gamer called Mr. Beast. So we were his first advertiser, and we did a deal with him. His collective ads, I think, have been seen, you know, I'm going to say billions,
Yeah.
3+, close to 4 billion.
Maybe, do they partner with Mr. Beast when he was really tiny? What do you mean little gamer, bro? Mr. Beast probably got more money than you. I'm not gonna lie.
times. Every kid in America knows what honey is. Every kid in America was telling their moms and their dads they needed to download, honey in order to save money.
Oh, they weren't just telling their mums and dads to install honey.
Listen, I'm a goated son because I told my parents when I was seeing all these honey ads, yo, don't install that bullshit. It's shady. It's shady. I told my mom, I told my sister, I told everybody. I was like, yo, this is a scam. I don't know how to explain. I'm not smart enough to explain to you how it's a scam. I'm just, from my limited knowledge of the internet and how e-commerce works, this does not make, the numbers aren't numbering. Something shady's happening.
They were installing it themselves. My 5-year-old brother installed honey on his computer. Wow, kids start saving money earlier and earlier these days. And here's Honey's co-founder, Ryan Hudson, discussing how Honey leveraged the credibility that influencers have with their audience.
We learned how to work with influencers, in particular on YouTube, to lean into the credibility that they have with their audiences, the ability to speak the language of their audience, and it's been incredible for us. And so we've done, if you watch YouTube or you have kids that watch YouTube, they have seen, if you watch Mr. Beast,
it's a lot of honey.
A lot of honey.
This was no accident. Honey's leadership knew what they were doing and they knew it worked well. That Mr. Beast ad alone has 118 million paid ad views, the highest of any Honey ad on YouTube, which strongly suggests it was also their best performer. Honey likely invested millions into this ad alone. Honestly, it's genuinely shocking they've gotten away with it for so long.
Bro probably got paid like millions to literally say something for like 30 seconds too. That's crazy. Like imagine having that much like motion or like eyes on you.
Now, given everything we've uncovered so far, you might be wondering how on earth there could be more to this investigation. Well, while Honey was the first extension of its kind, unfortunately, they certainly weren't the last.
Surfshark? Wait, what?
There are now hundreds of coupon and cashback extensions. And while I haven't investigated all of them to the same extent that I have with Honey, many of them engage in similar behavior, especially when it comes to poaching affiliate commissions. And that's why there are now multiple class action lawsuits targeting these other companies. Influencers haven't just been losing money to one sleazy salesman at checkout, they've been losing money to an army of them. In my opinion, these extensions are nothing but leeches. They are parasites in the world of e-commerce. In fact, I've encountered so much shady behavior with these extensions that I felt it was necessary to create my own browser extension to alert me anytime an affiliate cookie is loaded onto my browser. It's called Cookie Guard, and it's especially helpful because some of these extensions will load their affiliate link in ways that are completely invisible to the user. For example, if you click to copy a coupon on Honey, it looks like a harmless feature because you don't see that sneaky tab opening in the corner. But with Cookie Guard installed, you can see that behind the scenes, they are quietly stuffing their cookie through what's known as a hidden iframe. You can Google it.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, like Cookie Guard, that's kind of goated for him doing that. I'm low-key scared. What if he's peddling some shady too? The best way to set up to overtake your competitors is by creating the exact thing you sent to destroy and market it as the solution. That's what I'm just saying. I don't know this guy from a hole in the wall. I mean, his video's goated, you know, he seemed credible, but like, damn, now you peddling some other stuff. Like, yo, you freaking me out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that not like, no, that just seems a little shady. I mean, it might not be. Maybe if the source code is public, then I won't view it as shady. But like, if it's something he's like allowing people to install, like, bro, yeah, see, it's a thing he's promoting.
Even worse, I found that the extension Karma Now would stuff their cookie the moment you landed on a checkout page. Completely automated, no interaction with their extension required. They also had a system that could detect when you used a competitor's extension, like Honey, and they would wait for that extension's affiliate link to load, then immediately override it with their own. Again,
yo, the scammers are scamming each other now too. It's come full circle.
And no interaction with their app required. It's insane. And this sort of malicious behavior is not exclusive to browser extensions. Even Microsoft couldn't resist the temptation of easy affiliate money and decided to offer coupons directly from the Edge browser. Watch what happens when I visit my NordVPN affiliate link. Once I've clicked on one of their coupons, Microsoft immediately replaced my affiliate cookie with their own. poaching the sale. And when I tried to reload my affiliate link to reinstate my cookie, it comes back momentarily, but Microsoft quickly and automatically replaces it again with their own. I mean, damn, Microsoft, people hate your browser enough as it is. And how about
true? Who uses that? Nobody. Come on now. Edge is better. No, it's not, bro. Internet Explorer was the last good thing y'all did, okay?
Opera's browser? They recently stopped this, but for some time, if you simply entered the URL of a store that they were partnered with and clicked their autocomplete suggestion, Opera considered that fair game to inject their affiliate link and claim the sale. Affiliate marketing has truly become a war of the cookies. I could go on and on with these examples. Now, this all begs the question, how the fuck is all of this being allowed? Are there no rules in place to prevent this behavior? Well, as it turns out, yes, there are in fact plenty of rules in place that should have prevented much of what I have uncovered in this investigation. So, why hasn't it? Well, that's where greed and incentives comes into the equation. You see, so far,
I feel like a lot of people just think people are too stupid to figure it out. I don't know why companies still think nowadays they can get away with as much stuff as they used to be able to, because like nowadays everybody on the internet can talk about anything. So like it's harder to hide stuff and kill stories. Like back, you know, when everything was like press earlier in the days when these big tech companies were up and coming, you could hide all of this.
We have only discussed two key players in affiliate marketing, merchants and affiliates. Merchants want to sell their products and services, and affiliates want to promote those products and services for a commission. Pretty straightforward. But there's another crucial player that we haven't yet discussed, and that is the affiliate networks. Affiliate networks are like dating apps for the industry. They allow merchants and affiliates to easily discover one another, connect, and work together. These networks also take care of all the technical stuff like the affiliate tracking links, reporting, and commission payments. But most importantly, these networks also set the rules. They are the gatekeepers. Some of the largest networks in this industry are Awin, Commission Junction, Impact, and Rakuten Advertising. Now, not only do these networks have their own strict policies, at least
I bet I've never heard of any of these companies, but maybe that's they're doing their job correctly then.
Most of these networks collectively agreed to enforce two codes of conduct. One for downloadable softwares like extensions, and the other for all affiliates that promote coupon codes. And the rules set out in these codes prohibit many of the behaviors uncovered in this video. So why aren't these networks enforcing their own bloody rules? Well, for every sale made in affiliate marketing, these networks also get a slice of the pie. They generally charge between 20 and 30% of each and every commission paid. There are some variations, of course. Not all networks have the same rates and pricing structures.
Damn, that's a big cut.
The core principle is almost always the same. The more money that flows through these extensions, the more the networks get paid. So when these networks enforce rules...
Yeah, they're basically getting lobbied through their own systems to break their own rules. They're making so much money, they're like, our policies, we're not going to look at them.
Resulting in a loss of income for the extensions, they too take a hit. Enforcing their own rules basically means shooting themselves in the foot. That kind of incentive structure doesn't just fail to prevent fraud, it practically invites it. Part 3 is going to be huge, and that was supposed to be the next video in the series. But that's not the video you're going to see next. In the next video, I'm going to be exposing a secret system buried deep within Honey's code that was never meant to see the light of day. The system was engineered specifically to bypass one of the most important rules in affiliate marketing, a rule intended to protect influencers from the very commission theft demonstrated in my last video. And that rule is known in the industry as stand down. Stand down essentially means that extensions must detect if a user has already clicked on someone else's affiliate link, and if they have, the extension must deactivate itself and not interfere. Yet, during my testing, Honey virtually never stood down. Suddenly, however, Honey began complying much more frequently, and this change in compliance didn't smell right to me. So, I started digging. And that's one of the reasons why this video was delayed for so long. Because as it turns out, Honey wasn't just ignoring stand-down rules, the system they created was designed explicitly to bypass it, while hiding that behavior from compliance testers. And I have all the evidence.
So maybe they're like, oh, there's no discounts, it's disabled. They're visually saying that it's disabled, but in the back end, it's still injecting the discount code in the affiliate link for sure.
To prove it. In fact, what I found was so shocking that I consulted with a respected security researcher who was able to independently verify and validate my discovery. The behavior I'm describing, in my opinion, likely constitutes criminal behavior. And in a few days, everyone will learn about the greatest heist in affiliate history.
We don't sell your data. We already sold it to PayPal. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Yo, YouTubers are really winning in journalism nowadays, bro. Because they're not paid off by anyone. Like, the only money they make is from people watching their videos.